Guys, it's always cool when a new distillery opens up in your neck of the woods. And I know they don't really, happen all over the place. So for one to be about a 30-minute drive is really not that bad. But it's even cooler when you reach out to that distillery and you're able to get some media samples to review on your pretty mediocre whiskey channel. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey, the internet's most okayest whiskey review channel. I am, of course, your host, T-Rod, and if you're new here, welcome. Please feel free to join the masses. There's always room for more on the bandwagon. If you're a returning viewer, awesome, appreciate you being here, but don't so much appreciate the fact that you haven't hit that subscribe button yet. Everybody else has been doing it. I don't know why you aren't. But when you do that, you should also hit that bell notification so you can make sure you find out whenever I am dropping new content. So within the last year or so, a little bit less than a year, there's been a new distillery that has opened about a 30-ish minute drive from me in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And it is Water Tower Distilling. Now, Water Tower is a newer craft distillery, so when I saw this, reached out and said, hey, would really like the opportunity to try whatever whiskeys you guys are putting out. And they were all too kind to oblige me. So they did send me a couple bottles for review. This is their straight rye whiskey, and this is their straight bourbon whiskey. And sorry, they're not from Ann Arbor, they're from Ypsilanti, which is like next door. These are both bottles, batch 1. The rye is bottle number 142, the bourbon is bottle number 83. But regardless, we are going to get into each one of these and see, what they're about, how good they are. So let's see, the bourbon comes in at 92 proof, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with that one. So I'm gonna grab our handy dandy bottle opening apparatus. And if you guys don't have like a nice little fixed blade around the house, Columbia River Knife and Tactical, they do great little pocket daggers or mini fixed blades or whatever that are just great for little administrative tasks around the house. Kind of a do-all. Not a paid sponsorship. Would love to, but yeah. All right, so we got our first glass here. I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. And okay, solid cork pop. Get that in the glass here. So yeah, 92 proof straight bourbon whiskey. Now this does say bottled by Water Tower Distilling Company, Ypsilanti, Michigan. So I don't believe they distilled this one themselves, which would make sense because they've only been around for a little bit. It says, home of the original Rosie the Riveters, Ypsilanti, Michigan is also where we roll up our sleeves to craft world-class spirits at our woman-owned distillery with a focus on community pride, quality, and inclusion. So just based off of what I know, I'm going to guess that this is probably MGP sourced bourbon. So, like I said, 92 proof, kind of a lighter color, which is consistent with the proof. Okay, nose isn't bad. Some oak, some caramel, a little astringency. Nothing crazy there. Oh, and jumping out of the glass. God, get it together, Trevor. All right. So kind of classical bourbon notes. Man, I really got that everywhere. Now, there's a little bit of a sawdust note there that I actually kind of find intriguing. But I can sit here and sniff it all I want. We're just going to go ahead and get into it. So, cheers. Okay. A little bit light. A little bit of a honeyed note, like a honeyed, like a honey and vanilla. It's kind of nice. Now this is making me second guess if this is actually MGP sourced or not, because I'm not getting any fruit on it. And usually with MGP bourbons, I tend to get a bit of fruit. Almost like a honeyed wheat bread. Huh. That's interesting. It has a little bit more heat to it than what I would expect from 92 proof. I was expecting this to be a little bit thinner, a little bit more watered down, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because this is generally going to be, I'm going to assume, targeted towards more the everyman and not towards the connoisseur, but hey, I could be completely wrong. Got a lot of those sweet classical bourbon notes. I mean, nothing wrong with it. Yeah, honey, vanilla, oak. Small dash, like the slightest dash of rye spice, but you know, that's kind of it. Not overly complicated, not overly complex, and you know, sometimes that's a good thing. If I had to give this one a score right out the gate, I mean, I'm gonna go with a 5.4. Not terrible, not bad by any means. It's not gonna light your world on fire, but you know, it's a very agreeable pour. Nothing wrong with it. I think this would be great in cocktails. Drinking neat, I would definitely drink this during the summer. The winters, I like something with a little bit more kick to it. But this is a good profile. I like it. If they release a fuller proof or a higher proof version, I would definitely be interested in it. So that said, we'll get our second tasting Glen out. And our bottle of straight rye whiskey. Now this is 100 proof. So this one should drink a little bit hotter, a little bit higher proof, kind of what I was looking for on the bourbon. So we'll see. All right. And cork pop number 2. Healthy cork pops on these. And I do appreciate they're using a synthetic cork. There's nothing more annoying than cork rot. And when you have as many bottles as I do, trying to keep those corks like damp is a full-time job in itself. But let's go ahead and pour a little bit of this guy. Get that in there. All right. So we'll go ahead and just coat that glass up real nice. Ooh, okay. Spearmint, caramel, oak, a little bit of menthol. This is my kind of rye. Now this does smell consistent with an MGP rye. A little bit of like a eucalyptus here. There's almost like a Vicks Vapo Rub quality, but in a good way. Not in like that gross kind of medicinal way. This is like in that more comforting kind of way. A little rye spice, but all right, let's get into it. Cheers. Sweet mint. That oak is coming through. That rye spice is very present. Very enjoyable. Full-bodied, super oily. This is coating the mouth really, really, really well. It's very viscous. I'm tasting it all the way through. I'm getting a lot of that mint on the side palate, but then the front and the rear palate is all like that sweet caramel and oak. And then that rye spice is just kind of lingering on the finish. Once it's gone, a little bit of rye spice, a little bit more of that mint, and just a tingle of that eucalyptus note that is begging you to come back in for more. That is a good rye. That is my jam. That is 100% what I look for when I want a nice, sweet, minty, slightly spicy rye. That checks all the buckets for me. Shooting from the hip, giving that one a score, I'm going to go with like 6.6. That is good. It's got a great flavor profile. It's got great characteristics to it. It lingers the appropriate amount of time. It's got a nice finish. It is robust enough for someone like me who's looking for a little bit more complexity, a little more horsepower, if you would, in their drink. But it's not going to be so obtrusive that some random guy off the street is going to walk in and have a cocktail and, not enjoy it. So that's a good rye. But I definitely look forward to trying the tasting room for Water Tower. If I get the opportunity to get over to Ypsilanti, which hopefully now that things are going to be calming down after Halloween, we will make our way out there for some cocktails. But if you guys are ever in that neck of the woods, maybe you're catching a U of M game or something, stop in and see them. craft distilleries like this are some of the best experiences you can have in the cocktail world because they've always got something fun cooked up. I can't really speak to that personally because I haven't been there, but I definitely look forward now to stopping in and giving it a shot. They also did send me some samples of vodka and gins, which I'll probably have some short form stuff coming out with those because I definitely want to try a couple of those gins. But yeah, this rye, definitely the star of the show in my opinion. The bourbon, also good, but I definitely prefer this rye. That's all I got, guys. I hope you enjoy the review. Keep an eye on the channel for more content. We got a month until Bourbon Advent starts, so just keep your eyes peeled on the channel, and I will see you next time. Cheers.